Ever blocked a narcissist, thinking you were finally free, only to have them reappear like nothing ever happened? Maybe they send a casual, "Hey, how have you been?" text. Maybe they suddenly start watching all your Instagram stories. Or worse, they show up at your door with that same old charm, acting like they've changed. At first you might feel flattered. Maybe they finally realized your worth. Maybe they miss you, but deep down, you sense something is off. Because no matter how many times you've cut ties, they always find a way back in. So what's really going on here? Why do narcissists always return, even when they've discarded you before? And more importantly, how can you shut the door on them forever? The truth is, narcissists don't come back because they care. They come back because they need something from you. Validation, attention, control, it's all part of their cycle. And if you don't understand their tactics, it's easy to get sucked back in. In this video, we're going deep into the psychology of why narcissists can't let go, the manipulative tricks they use, and most importantly, how to stop them from ever coming back. If you've ever felt trapped in this toxic loop, you are not alone, but by the end of this video, you'll have the knowledge and tools to finally reclaim your freedom. Let's dive in. Narcissists don't see relationships the way most people do. To them, people are not partners, friends, or loved ones. They are sources of supply. And when that supply runs low, they'll do whatever it takes to get it back. But what exactly is narcissistic supply? It's the attention, admiration, and emotional energy that fuels their ego. Narcissists thrive on feeling powerful and in control, and when they lose that, they start scrambling. Here's why they always come back. They need to replenish their ego. Narcissists have a fragile sense of self. They build their confidence by controlling how others see them, which is why they constantly seek validation. When you walk away, it's a massive blow to their ego. They can't stand the thought of losing control over you, so they return. Not because they love you, but because they need to regain power. When a narcissist loses their supply, it's like a drug addict going through withdrawal. They panic. They feel empty. And instead of looking inward to fix their issues, they start looking outward toward the people who once gave them endless validation. That's where you come in. The fear of losing control. A narcissist's worst nightmare is losing control over someone they thought they had trapped. If you were once under their influence, they assume you'll always be available. When you break free, it challenges their sense of dominance, so they come back to try and reassert their power. To a narcissist, relationships aren't about love or connection. They're about control. When you walk away, you take away their ability to manipulate you, and that drives them insane. So they'll come back with one goal: to reestablish their control over you. They might act charming at first, telling you how much they miss you. They might even apologize for everything they did. But make no mistake, it's not real remorse. It's a strategy. And once they regain control, the cycle of manipulation starts all over again. The hoovering technique. This is where things get manipulative. Narcissists use a tactic called hoovering, named after the vacuum cleaner, where they suck you back into the relationship. Here's how it works. They send a random "hey" text just to see if you'll respond. They watch your social media, hoping you'll notice. They pretend they've changed, saying things like, "I've been in therapy, I finally understand my mistakes." They act like they desperately need you, making you feel guilty for leaving. Hoovering is not about love, it's about control. They're testing the waters, trying to see if they can manipulate you back into their web. And if you fall for it, they'll do what they always do: pull you in, drain you emotionally, and discard you when they're done. They can't handle rejection. Narcissists don't believe they can be rejected. In their mind, they are the prize, so if you leave, they take it as a personal insult. That's why they fight so hard to come back. But here's the thing, they don't actually want you. They just want to win. They want to prove that they still have control over you. And once they feel like they've won, they'll go right back to their old toxic behavior. So now that we know why narcissists always come back, the next question is, how do they manage to pull people back in over and over again? The answer lies in their manipulative tactics, designed to wear down your defenses and make you doubt your own judgment. If you've ever found yourself giving a narcissist one last chance, only to regret it later, you're not alone. Here's how they do it. Love bombing. Again, when a narcissist first enters your life, they often use love bombing, showering you with affection, compliments, and promises of a perfect future. But what most people don't realize is that love bombing doesn't just happen at the beginning. Narcissists recycle it whenever they feel like they're losing control. Suddenly, they're texting nonstop, telling you they can't stop thinking about you. They remind you of all the good times you had together. They make grand gestures like buying gifts or making dramatic apologies. They act like they've had a wake-up call and are now a completely different person. At first, it feels real. You start to wonder, what if they've actually changed? What if this time will be different? But watch out, it won't be different. It's a trap. Love bombing is a tool to get you emotionally invested again so they can manipulate you all over again. Guilt tripping and playing the victim. If love bombing doesn't work, the narcissist shifts tactics. Instead of trying to charm you, they try to guilt trip you into coming back. I can't believe you would just walk away like that. After everything we've been through, you're really going to give up on us? I'm struggling without you. You were the only person who really understood me. Suddenly, you're the bad guy for protecting yourself. They play the victim, making it seem like they're the one who's hurting. And because you're a caring person, you start to feel responsible for their pain. But here's what you have to remember. Narcissists don't feel the same way about relationships as you do. They don't see love as a two-way street. They see people as tools, and when they make you feel guilty, it's just another form of control. The changed person act. This is one of the most dangerous manipulations because it preys on hope. The narcissist will tell you that they've finally seen the light, that they've been reflecting, going to therapy, working on themselves. They might even admit to some of their past mistakes, just enough to make you believe they're serious. And that's exactly what makes this tactic so effective. It feels real. I realize now how much I hurt you, and I hate myself for it. I've been reading books about relationships. I want to be better. I know I didn't appreciate you before, but losing you made me realize how much I love you. At this point, you start to wonder, what if they really have changed? But here's the problem. Narcissists don't change. They adapt. They'll say whatever they need to say to get you back, but the moment they feel secure again, the old patterns always return. The cycle always repeats, creating drama to force a reaction. If all else fails, a narcissist will resort to chaos. They start rumors or spread lies about you. They post cryptic messages online, hoping you'll reach out. They provoke you by bringing up old wounds or twisting your words. They act reckless, doing things that make you feel like they're spiraling out of control. Why? Because they just want a reaction. To a narcissist, even a negative reaction is better than being ignored. It reassures them that they still have power over your emotions. The moment you engage, they win. Narcissists will use every trick in the book to get back into your life. They'll charm you, guilt trip you, pretend they've changed, or even create drama, anything to keep you emotionally hooked. But now that you know their tactics, you have the power to resist them. So how do you shut them out once and for all? That's what we're going to cover next. Now that you know why narcissists return and how they manipulate you into letting them back in, the final step is the most important: how to stop them for good. Because narcissists don't leave voluntarily. You have to force them out of your life. And that requires more than just blocking their number. It requires a total mindset shift. Here's how you can break free once and for all. The power of no contact. If there is one rule to follow when dealing with a narcissist, it's this. No contact is your greatest weapon. Block their number, social media, and email. Do not reply to messages, even just to be polite. Avoid mutual friends who act as their informants. Narcissists rely on access to keep their control over you. If you shut down all avenues of communication, they lose their grip. But what if going completely no contact isn't an option? Use the gray rock method. This means be uninteresting, give short, emotionless responses, don't engage. No arguments, no explaining yourself, no reacting. Stay neutral. Narcissists feed on drama, don't give them any. Eventually, they'll lose interest because there's nothing left for them to manipulate. Set unbreakable boundaries. Narcissists hate boundaries. Why? Because boundaries mean they can't control you. If they call, don't answer. If they text, don't respond. If they show up unannounced, tell them to leave. And if they test your boundaries, stand firm. Because the moment they see a weakness, they'll exploit it. Here's a key phrase to remember. No is a complete sentence. You don't need to justify, explain, or defend your decision. Rebuild your self-worth. One of the biggest reasons people fall back into toxic relationships is self-doubt. Narcissists break down your confidence, making you feel like you'll never find better. But the truth is, you deserve better. And the best way to ensure you never fall for a narcissist again is to rebuild your self-worth. Work on yourself. Therapy, self-help books, journaling, whatever helps you heal. Surround yourself with supportive people. People who uplift you, not drain you. Remember who you were before the narcissist. That version of you still exists, and they deserve to be happy. Narcissists target people who are empathetic, kind, and giving. But those qualities are not weaknesses. They are your strengths. Once you recognize that, you become untouchable. Accept that closure won't come from them. Many people struggle to move on because they want closure. They want the narcissist to apologize, admit their mistakes, or finally acknowledge the pain they caused. But unfortunately, that will never happen. A narcissist will never give you the closure you seek because that would mean taking responsibility, and they're incapable of that. Closure comes from you. It comes from realizing that you don't need their validation to move on. You were always enough. Stay strong, even when they try again. The moment a narcissist realizes they can't control you anymore, they do one of two things. They try harder, expect desperate messages, fake apologies, and dramatic attempts to win you back. They move on. If they realize you're truly done, they'll search for a new source of supply. Either way, you win, because the moment they leave, you finally get something they never wanted you to have: freedom. The cycle of narcissistic abuse is designed to keep you trapped. But the moment you choose yourself, the moment you stop engaging, stop explaining, and stop hoping for change, you break free. Right now, you might feel like breaking free is impossible, but it's not. Every time you say no, every time you refuse to engage, every time you choose yourself over their manipulation, you take your power back. At first, it will feel hard. You might doubt yourself. You might even be tempted to respond. But the longer you stay strong, the clearer it becomes. They never deserved your energy in the first place. And one day you'll wake up and realize, you don't even think about them anymore. If this video helped you, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, because someone out there needs this advice just as much as you did. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your story could help someone else break free. And if there's a specific topic you want me to cover in the next video, let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear your ideas. Stay strong, stay empowered, and remember, you deserve peace.